Hey everyone, really quickly I just wanted to pop in and announce the giveaway winners for the giveaway I did of the KDP books about like 2 weeks ago. Anyway, the giveaway winners are Albert, Vanessa, Vicky, Janet, Miss San Martin, and Mary Catherine. So congrats you guys and thank you all for participating. I really appreciate it. Anyway, let's get right into the video. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video today, we're going to be talking all about KDP ads. I have spent a little over a week testing them, running them, all that jazz to learn more about them because I haven't experimented with them before, so this is kind of my time to experiment. Spoiler alert, I did not do super duper well, but I'm going to show you my whole process so you can kind of get a feel for everything that I did and why things didn't go super duper well, and especially so you can learn from my mistakes and hopefully do better. And if you have any ideas for like how I can improve, because I would love to do more work with KDP ads in the future, but I have some learning I still got to do. So please let me know down in the comments what you think I should have done better, because I know it is not perfect. It's not the best. I'm not very proud of it. But in my opinion, I think you can learn a lot more from mistakes than successes. So I hope that this is a very good learning experience for you as well as for me. Also, one thing I'd like to note, I have gotten a couple comments from people asking if I could show my October income report. And I'm not going to be showing it for this month. I probably will for next month. Just so you know, it's pretty much the same as what I got from September. You can kind of get a feel for how things went with October, just because I didn't do super duper well with ads, and it kind of translated the same with my Q4 Halloween books. I spent a lot of time on them, but ultimately they didn't really pan out quite how I expected them to, and I was kind of rooting for ads to do the trick for me. And I talked in a past video about like low content books versus no content books. It's not translating to a lot of sales, but I am learning a lot and I'm very excited for the future of what I am going to be able to create. So anyway, let's get right into the video. Alright guys, so we are now at my computer, and as you'll see, I am inside Amazon KDP. I've already gone and I've clicked on the button to create an ad campaign, and now I'm just going to go ahead and choose my marketplace, Amazon.com. I'm going to quickly mention I have done a little bit of research on running ads on Amazon. I've watched some videos, I've read some things, just because I don't want to be going into this blindly and just blowing all my money and not knowing what I'm doing. I want to at least have a good starting point. So some of the stuff I'm going to be doing in this video, like I already have a basic idea, I just haven't done it myself to know for sure if it works for me. So yeah, basically that's how it works. So anyway, Amazon.com, just a standard marketplace, and then I'm going to create the ad campaign. All right, we're now inside Amazon ads. You'll see I have this 2 important messages. I already looked at what it is. It's just talking about how there's a new like thingy and there's some issues with stuff in North America. Like that's it. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and click on sponsored products. We're not going to want these ones. I mean, maybe lock screen ads, but that's going to be much more specific, and I'm going to just want sponsored products. And now here we are inside of Create Campaign. I'm going to be doing an activity book for Halloween. So I'm mainly just going to want this to go through Halloween. Okay, so let's just start here. Halloween activity book campaign. Oh, that's so specific. Let's just go with Halloween book campaign. I'm not going to bother with the dates. I won't bother with the time, I'll just leave it at that. So this is the campaign name. This is just so I know what the campaign is, and then I don't have to worry about, just like if I had multiple campaigns, this would just distinguish it. So starting today is October 19th, end date. So let's decide on an end date. Definitely not April 2022. So let's see, October, a week from now would be the 26th. I'm just gonna do a week for now just to try it out. I might go through Halloween itself, but currently I'm just experimenting, so I think I'm gonna go with a week. And I'm gonna set my daily budget at $5. We're gonna want manual targeting just because that way I get to pick my keywords and everything, and Amazon won't decide everything for you. Usually when you're doing ads, you're gonna wanna go as manual as possible, because if you go automatic, like that's just relying on the system to do it all for you, and you never know if they're gonna totally screw everything up. So yeah, I'm just gonna go with manual targeting. Now we've got bidding strategy. So we've got dynamic bids down only, dynamic bids up and down, and then we've got fixed bids. We're gonna want down only, at least for now, which basically means that with my bidding, I don't know all the ad terminology, so I can't be super duper specific about all of this. But when it comes to showing ads for people, the money that I will spend to show those ads will be at the top of my bid and down, as opposed to raising my bids by a maximum of 100%. Like, I would like to stay on the lower end, basically. So this will help maximize the amount that I am setting my bidding at. So yeah, dynamic bids down only, and now we're gonna go to ad format. We want standard ad. We don't need to worry about creating custom and all that. Like, that's a little more complicated than we need. And now we're going to create an ad group. So for the ad group, this is pretty much if I'm going to be creating other ads and then I already have an ad group and I can just use the keywords that I have already put inside, which is awesome. And I think that's super duper helpful. So what I'm doing is a Halloween activity book, but to be more specific, the activity book that I'm doing is a Halloween dot markers book. So I'm going to just type it as this. As you'll see, I just closed this little help window over here because I just realized that that wasn't relevant to this. So I'm sorry if that was in the way. But anyway, now we are on to targeting. And again, this has to do more with manual or automatic. We've got keyword targeting and product targeting. So we can either choose the keywords that we want to target, or we can choose products to target. That's kind of interesting. I think I'm gonna go with keywords just because that's more specific. I'd rather not go off of everything else. And now we are down to keyword targeting, and it starts with suggesting a bunch of different keywords for me, which I might go with some of the ones that are here because they seem kind of nice. I think I want to mainly target dot marker keywords as opposed to things like I don't know, Halloween coloring book, just because dot marker is much more specific, and I'm concerned that if I were to do Halloween coloring book, then people looking for a regular coloring book would see my book and be like, oh, interesting, and then they'd click on it and then they'd be like, oh wait, it's a dot marker book, and then I just lost some money for that because it was a much broader keyword that wasn't really related to what I was going for. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to want to enter a list right here as opposed to doing everything in suggested. So I'm just gonna go through here and pick out some keywords that I like first, and then I'm gonna add them into the list. And one other thing I wanna mention, we've got match type, and I'm gonna talk about that really quickly. We've got broad, so basically that is just any of the words that are in the keywords that you've chosen. Broader, obviously, and I want to be more specific, so I'm going to go with, I think, phrase and exact, just so that I have the ones that are more specific. Phrase is the same order and everything. Exact, it is those exact keywords. So I'm going to do those two. And I'm going to go to suggested and start looking for the keywords that I want. Alrighty, so I have added a bunch of keywords from Amazon suggested keywords. And so I have a couple right now, but I am going to compile some more. And the way I'm going to do that is through Helium 10. And for those of you who aren't familiar with Helium 10, Helium 10 is an amazing tool for pretty much anyone selling on Amazon. And it's one of my favorites when it comes to keywords. So that's where I'm going to be pulling most of my keywords from. And I will hop over to Helium 10 and get back to you. Alright, so now I'm inside Helium 10. Fortunately, when I was creating this dot markers activity book, I had actually already created a folder of my favorite keywords for it. So I can pretty much pull all of these. And also, I want to mention Helium 10 is absolutely amazing. If you want to give it a shot, go to the link in the description below to check out Helium 10. And you can also use my coupon code SarahLarson50 for 50% off your first month, and SarahLarson10 for 10% off every month. And yeah, Helium 10 is an amazing tool, and I would highly recommend you check it out. There is a free version, and then if you decide that you really like it, you can commit to the pro version. And yeah, Helium 10 is amazing. So definitely check it out if you're looking for a better keyword tool for your KDP business. All right, I've now finished compiling my keywords. As you can see, it's not very many. But I think that a lot of these are like kind of bigger keywords, and they'll be much more specifically related to the keywords that I want to target in order to make sales for my dot markers activity book. So now what I'm going to do is add the keywords. Okay, as you might notice, things are a little bit different. I went to add the keywords button. I realized that I'd left the bid at suggested bid, so it just had the suggested bid on the column of all of these. And then I removed them all, and it removed all of them here. So I put them all back in, as well as probably some new ones. So yeah, now I have more keywords, so that's kind of nice. And I also second guessed myself, and I decided to go with phrase as well as exact. So anyway, yeah, a couple things changed within those few seconds for you anyway. So I'm gonna go to bid, and I'm gonna go to custom bid because I don't want the large suggested bid to be what it is for all of them. And I'm just gonna go 25 cents. So basically 25 cents is the maximum that I will bid for my ads to be clicked on for each of these keywords, because I don't want to spend $1 for someone to click on my ad and then not even buy it. So now I'm going to add all these keywords, and here they all are on the side. It has a suggested bid. Like, I don't really care. Why would I spend $3.67 for someone to click on something and not even buy it? Anyway, I think ads can be kind of expensive sometimes needlessly. But as you'll see, I have the match type for all of these. I've got phrase and exact, and then I've got my bid, suggested bid, whatever, and then all the different keywords that I'm targeting. And it looks like, wow, I went with 34. So yeah, I guess that counts both phrase and exact. So I think that is a pretty good number, and all of them are pretty specific. And now it looks like I might be done. Negative keyword targeting. So this is if I were to say, yeah, especially don't target these keywords or something like that. I usually don't mess with negative keyword targeting. But anyway, now I have all my keywords in, and I think I'm ready to launch my campaign. I kind of thought there'd be more to it than that, but yeah, just launched my campaign. So let's do it. Hooray, my campaign has launched successfully. So it's now pending approval. It could take up to 72 hours. I hope it doesn't take that long, but we will see. Hi everyone, it is now the next day, and I'm just popping back in to show you something. So I got this email that says that my Halloween book campaign was moderated. And looking down, we have thank you for submitting your sponsored products ad campaign for review. Below ads are eligible to be served on Amazon. So then here is my ad, and it is all ready. This was just a few hours after I had created it, so it doesn't take very long, which is one thing I want to note, and that's really great. And one other thing I'm going to show you, now here are the analytics that I have so far for my running campaign. As you can see, we don't have a ton, haven't spent anything, haven't made any sales, only 4 impressions. I have just started this campaign. I'm going to give it at least till the end of today and then reevaluate, because Amazon might still be trying to figure it out. But I'm guessing I might have too few keywords. My bids might be super low. Hopefully maybe Amazon's still figuring out, but yeah, I'm gonna let it run for a little while, see what happens, and then I might come back, adjust bidding, add more keywords, something like that, just so that we can start seeing some more analytics and collecting more data. So first off, I spent like $11, which isn't a ton, which I think might have also been my issue, but I'm gonna talk more about that in a minute. So I created ad campaigns. I was mainly trying to focus on Halloween. I created a whole bunch of like Halloween specific books. So it's focusing on like the whole Halloween niche and all that jazz. So I'd created, as you can see, here's a coloring book, which is actually really, really adorable. I'm very happy with this book. And if you saw my giveaway video where I was unboxing my KDP books, then you would have seen this one. I'm very happy with how it came out. It's adorable. Anyway, and this is also, this one here is a Halloween dot marker activity book. So I was trying to target 2 different types of activity books, like when it comes to like the whole Halloween niche and all of that. And so what I did, I started it at these times specifically. End date, both of these, I think I had them end, I guess this one had already ended. This one I wanted to end like on Halloween itself, so it could have as much time as possible. I set a budget of $5 daily, and here's how much I spent on these. And I think part of my issue with this, so this is the first time that I've experimented with ads, and I think that the reason like I didn't see too much success is because I think maybe I was trying to tailor it so specifically. Like I thought I knew like what would work and everything, and I was trying to use the right keywords and all of that and set the right bids. But I think in my efforts to do so, because as you can see, like with a daily budget of $5 for both of these, it should have been like much more likely that I would have just spent that budget every single day, but I didn't. I was really only spending like $1 or so a day at most for both of these, especially when starting out. I found like with my dot marker activity book, like starting out way too specific. I think also, because I found that was the same with my Halloween coloring book. So I was trying to change around some of the bids, add some more keywords, things like that. But it's also possible, I'm not fully positive, but it's also possible that with Amazon ads, it takes a while for Amazon to figure out how exactly the ad works and everything. So that's probably why it started out with such low impressions, no click-throughs, all that jazz. So I'm not really sure there, but I do know that with ads, it is important to have some more generality. If that's a word, that's probably not a word. I'm probably making up a word. But basically with ads, I guess just don't try to be so specific. With my campaigns, actually I'll show you right here. So this is my dot markers activity book, spent this much, got quite a few impressions, not bad. So with my keywords, yeah, so I was targeting a bunch of keywords. I'm happy with my keywords, and I bid them. I started out at about 25 cents, and then I raised the bid just to see like what else happened. Oh, okay, so I can see what was spent. Okay, these are the analytics that I've been wanting to see. So I can see that spending wise, do dot book, I gotta click on that. Do dot coloring book, I gotta click on that. And looking down further, dot coloring book, we gotta click on dot marker, and oh, we got 2 on dot marker. Going down further, whoa, we got a lot on Halloween dot markers activity book. As Halloween was drawing closer, I decided to up the bids because I was like, okay, this isn't going well, clearly. And like my campaign was ending, and I was like, okay, well, I want to see something happen. Like I'll spend more money just to get more clicks, like see what happens. So this one got a lot of clicks, translated to no sales whatsoever. But yeah, Halloween dot markers activity book. This is interesting that this one got the most, and that's exact, but I also did price at the highest, so I'm not super duper surprised. And then looking at my other campaign, I'm gonna look at my Kawaii Halloween coloring book and see how it did. As you can see, I spent $477 over the course of like how long? This was for about like a week-ish. And it is interesting. I feel like I would have gotten more clicks and spent more money. I'm guessing my bids just weren't high enough. I also didn't see a ton of impressions. So Kawaii Halloween coloring book, it does have some search volume, but I was mainly targeting cute Halloween coloring book, which I found like has a much higher search volume and has more specific keywords already for it. So I'm really curious. All right, looking down here, I'm really curious to see what got the most spend. So with a lot of my keywords, I was trying to go after some like really specific ones, as you can see, which didn't do super duper well. I'm guessing if it says like no current data and it doesn't give you a suggested bid, it's probably not a good keyword to go after, which I'm gonna see if like I got any clicks for those, which is something I'm kind of curious about. Probably didn't, but let's see. So going down, what did I get clicks on? So I was targeting like animal coloring book Halloween. I was always trying to make sure I had like the keyword kid in it to some extent. We've got cute Halloween coloring books, which had a pretty decent like bid. I'm guessing it just hasn't given me all of the analytics yet. So as you can see, my ads, they did not do super duper well, but I didn't spend very much at the same time. One thing I think that's very difficult with ads is to do well, you have to start out just by being willing to fail, using a whole bunch of keywords, going off of, to some extent, the suggested bids, but not too much, because you're gonna end up blowing your budget with like just 2 clicks at that point, and you don't want that to happen. So basically go into ads with the expectation it takes a lot of a learning curve, and you're going to need to gather analytics before you can start seeing some real success. And then one thing I think is super duper interesting with Amazon ads, like it is very, very difficult to see success as well, because spend, I found that like my suggested bids, I ended up putting them like around 50 cents for the most part, because I felt like 25 cents, it was getting very little in the way of impressions, clicks. And so I was upping my bids, I was adding more keywords. But then like, if you think about it, like 50 cents, so when I make a sale, I generally get a profit of around $1, usually a little bit over $1. So if I have these bids that are at 50 cents, it takes 2 clicks, and like that's already how much I would have made for selling the book in general. So in order to see like any profit, I'd have to be making a sale like every 2 clicks. And that isn't even counting like some of these other ones, like looking at these suggested bids, like literally like the high end 267, that's like 2 books worth. Like why would I spend that much for a click when I don't even know it's going to translate into a sale? So it is possible that with Amazon ads, to be honest, it might be more profitable just with anything that would have a higher profit. Like for example, if you're going to sell like a toy helicopter that's $500 and you use like the suggested bid, like let's say $2, then you have a lot more give in there to be able to see a much higher profit even after like all the clicks. So I do think that's interesting. I'm really curious if you have any like perspective on this, like please comment down below. I want to learn more about Amazon ads because I have heard that this is kind of like the secret sauce when it comes to KDP, but I've really only seen success organically, and I've also just always been really bad at ads. But I don't really see how this could help a whole ton given it costs so much for a bid, like compared to the profit I would make from my books in general. I do want to keep experimenting with this. I'm not the best at ads, but I do want to get better. I might try creating ads for some no content books. I'm really curious how that would do compared to low content books, because I feel like I just do better when it comes to things like notebooks and composition books because design is more my thing. Anyway, let me briefly give you my advice when it comes to Amazon ads, just based on the mistakes that I made. Make sure that analytics is your top priority when you're first starting, because you're going to want to know what is converting to the most sales, and you're going to probably have to spend quite a bit of money to get there. And in order to spend enough money, you're going to need to make sure that you're using a wide variety of keywords. You're probably going to need to make sure that you are going at least to the lowest end of the suggested bid, just because, I don't know, because I've heard that it's a good idea to just go with a low bid, like 25 cents, even though like Amazon often recommends more. But if they're going to recommend more, then you're probably not going to end up like even ranking for that keyword. So you're probably going to want to go more with the suggested bids with a lot of these types of books. So these are mostly the things that I learned. I do want to keep experimenting, as I said. I know lots of people have had success with Amazon ads, and I really want that to be the case with me as well, so that I can grow, so that I can teach you guys what you need in order to grow with Amazon ads. And I want to do a much better job in the future so that we can all grow together. All right, guys, that about wraps it up. I hope that you've learned a little bit something more about KDP ads, especially what not to do, because there are a lot of things that I learned I should have done and things I definitely should not have done. Also, I believe I mentioned this in my past video, but I started a Facebook group and I am super duper excited about it. It is called Passive Wealth Empires, and it's all about generating passive income with a special focus on KDP. So if you're interested in that, make sure to go to the link that will be right here where my hands are, and also it'll be in the description below. Anyway, if this video has helped you, then please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe for more content just like this. I would super duper appreciate it, and I would love to have you. Anyway, I hope you all have a fabulous rest of your day. Bye.